But it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. Wow. In bed.
Chill, Jaguar Wright and Katt Williams better run for their lives because the feds just slipped up and revealed some disturbing information about Diddy's shady business partners putting a hit out on them because they don't like how they've been telling all their business to people. Jaguar and Katt have been on Diddy's neck for a long time, even before the feds had caught on to him. But they was called crazy and bitter for simply trying to open up people's eyes to see the truth. And now that people are finally listening to them, their lives are allegedly being threatened. In fact, there have already been 2 attempts to silence Jaguar by throwing her in jail. And not too long ago, she also spilled the tea about how a bunch of armed men broke into Katt's house in the middle of the night to take him out. It's unclear how Katt made it out of that house alive, but according to Jaguar, Katt was so traumatized by that situation that he used to wear Kevlar to sleep every night, just in case they came for him again. And for those of y'all who don't know what a Kevlar is, it's basically a bulletproof vest. So apart from him having to look over his shoulder all the time, he also had to put on this heavy bulletproof vest to go to sleep, just so they ain't catch him lacking.
Forget the day when they breached the house. And I left. You know, back in that moment, Katt was still wearing Kevlar to bed. To bed. I would get in bed with him at night and he would have Kevlar on. Wow. In bed.
When Jaguar revealed this, a lot of people was side-eyeing the executives of Comedy Central for potentially being behind this. The reason why people were so convinced it was them was because at the time, Katt was in the middle of a very nasty feud with Comedy Central because they wanted him to do some very questionable things on camera and he didn't want to do it. So they decided to off him, and this was revealed by Jaguar Wright.
And him at the moment where it made you want to speak your truth.
He went after Comedy Central. That's what happened. The Flavor Flav roast. The moment that I knew the Snoop Dogg is sold out. That was a hurtful moment. To humiliate Flav. Like humiliate him. Like no art. And they sent a bunch of jokes. And I'll never forget watching Katt in the office downstairs at the house in Marina Del Rey. And he's sitting there looking at and just shaking his head. And then the next thing you know, the phone rang and I'm standing there in the office in the doorway and I'm like, are you all right? And he picked up the phone and it was Comedy Central. And I listened to him threatening him. He said, I'm not doing this. You are not going to get a black man, a real black man, to agree to do this to another black man. $. It was a terrible day. And then that's when all the incidents started happening. Them sending people to the house. Them putting plants backstage at the shows. I mean, I was on tour with him for American Hustle.
Right.
I was on set for First Sunday.
Right. He said he got arrested over 30 times. Yeah. No convictions.
I'm getting close.
Go ahead. Go.
But it's been about 30 for him. It's been 8 for me.
Yes.
He felony, I felony. You know, it was just terrible. And when I would think back to that moment, and then they called him the day before filming it, and was he going there? And he said no. And then the next thing you know, production went on later on that day, and Snoop was already ready. And Snoop did everything that Comedy Central asked. That Flavor Flav roast was Katt's. That was his moment. The Flavor Flav roast and the death of Malik B are the same.
Jaguar said she and Katt have been close for some years now, and that Katt was actually the one who motivated her to start speaking up the truth about Hollywood and all the things that go down inside of it.
When he walked into the club, and I was sitting at my table, it was my birthday party, and special ed brought him. And Katt was playing the amphitheater, and he wanted to meet me. And he came to my party, gave me about 20 grand in cash, and said, consider it a down payment on your time. He taught me so much in 9 months. Walking away was hard, but it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him.
But see, it isn't just Katt's life who's in danger, because they've been trying to silence Jaguar too, especially since she started talking about Jay and Beyonce. She used to mainly talk about Diddy, but things have only gotten worse for her the more she speaks about it. Jaguar started her mission to expose the industry a few years ago when she revealed that a lawyer who used to work for Diddy told her about the time they walked in on Christopher Williams giving Diddy top in the office. According to Jaguar, Diddy was well aware that Christopher was straight, but he still forced him to go down on him in exchange for a record deal, just to prove how much power he had.
See, Christopher Williams, I don't know, I guess he wanted to sign. I don't know what happened. But Puff was supposed to be giving him a demo deal, and he gave him a demo deal, and I guess it was supposed to turn into an album deal, which that never happened. But this young woman walked in to get approval on some paperwork. See. And when she walked in, the door wasn't locked, so she didn't think twice about just walking in. And when she walked in, she saw Christopher Williams performing fellatio on Puff. Now, from what she said to me, it was disturbing because, you know, they didn't stop. She just walked out, and she just kept her head down at the office the rest of the day, I believe it was. And I don't think it was at the end of business day that day, but I think it was the following day. He came into her office and was like, yeah, so you came in there, so what? What you gonna do? You wanna say something? And she was like, oh no, she was like, I just don't understand why you left the door unlocked. If you were in there doing that, why would you leave the door unlocked? He said, I'll do whatever the I want to do in my building. And I just don't know. He was like, it's power, see? I can make a man, he said, if I can make a man, I can make people do anything.
But it wasn't just Diddy that Jaguar had her attention on, because she also accused Jay-Z of allegedly hooking up with Foxy Brown when she was just 15 and infecting her with an STD. Apparently, he forced her into this relationship in exchange for a record contract and allegedly dumped her for Beyonce, who was also just 18 when she and him started dating.
Yeah, Foxy dumped. She dumped because she had the syphilis, because she never got on a venereal disease treated. Y'all should go back and talk to all of the she slept with in Philly when she was in Philly. She burned every last one of them.
Not only that, but she recently appeared on the Piers Morgan show and made some wild allegations, specifically about how Jay-Z apparently funded the investigation into R. Kelly and Diddy, as well as his involvement in the death of Aaliyah. She also claims that she knows 3 of Beyonce and Jay-Z's victims, and they're willing to testify in court about what Jay-Z and Beyonce allegedly did to them.
Publicly, Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
Potentially, do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland? Social media.
She also said that these are all things that Diddy are going to be revealing in court once this trial starts, and that anybody who thinks otherwise just ain't paying attention.
To go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there. If the Me Too movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? They've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
Jaguar,
guess they're on vacation.
If this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are.
Now, while Jaguar was revealing all of this, a lot of people were scared for her because they thought she was gonna be slapped with a lawsuit soon if she kept running her mouth. But it looks like the industry had other plans for her, because instead of them throwing a lawsuit at her, word on the street is they've been trying to take her out. It's unclear who exactly is coming for Jaguar, since she's spoken on so many people over the years. But one thing's for certain, her life is in danger, and she's literally begging for protection. Now, these rumors started after Jaguar was suddenly arrested because she had an outstanding warrant on a U-Haul truck that she failed to return after renting it. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I'm sure we all know at least 1 or 2 people who haven't returned a U-Haul truck on time at least once, and none of them got arrested. This was clearly a warning from the elites to stop Jaguar from talking, but that did not stop her from continuing to speak her truth. In fact, it got so bad that Jaguar herself had to come out and address, and she pretty much confirmed that this arrest was orchestrated to silence her.
So every time I've been arrested for something that I didn't do, and yet nobody said, but did he get arrested finally and get the ready to be thrown at his very, very, very dancing feet? Y'all watch me get arrested there just for bringing Gene Deal to doubt.
To make matters even worse, she went on IG Live just the day after she appeared on the Piers Morgan show, and she slammed Jay-Z and Beyonce for allegedly making a few phone calls to get her slapped with a few felony charges so that she would be forced to keeping her mouth shut. She also accused them of using witchcraft to lure people into blindly following them.
Unnecessary court fees and litigations because Jay-Z wants me broken, stopped, or under his control. And it ain't gonna happen, Sean. I'm never gonna be under your control. Never. You need to learn how to control your wife and her friends and their mouths. Because you got Beyonce in the Beehive looking real right now. 5 million unfollowed, and that number's gonna go up with every image in one of those freak off tapes. And God help if anybody here how that talks about people with her, they'll start unfollowing by the tens of hundreds. Again. And they should. Because the truth is, the only reason they were following was because of the witchcraft and the spells that were being pushed out through the media. Y'all ain't fans because y'all really love them and y'all really think they're the best. You're fans because you fell for the hype. And they are hypes. I know I can sing. I've been able to do that my whole life. And they've been trying to stop me my whole career. Because see, unlike Beyonce, I'm not willing to hurt people to get famous. See, that's the part of the story that they're not telling y'all. That the more terrible you are, the more they'll protect you.
And people believe that all these legal attacks on Jaguar are leading up to something bigger, potentially her death. Folks even brought up the deceased popular TikToker Kyle Marissa, who was also exposing Diddy and Jay-Z just a few days before she was found dead. Not too long before she was brutally unalived, Kyle made a video breaking down the details of Diddy's lawsuits, and she did not hold back. Her videos were getting millions of views, and it looks like the elites did not like this at all. Because right after posting all these videos, she mysteriously died.
Warned him about being associated with Mr. Freakoff, but he did not listen. Some of the men who claim to have stories about his private life have given him the name General High. So, Mr. Freakoff is Diddy, General High TD Jakes. I'm sure you can do the math on how that got there, that nickname. Sorry guys, I'm flustered right now. This is huge. Young Miami, the girlfriend of the wannabe rapper who was also named in a very recent lawsuit, has started selling off all of her possessions online. This is from March 4th. It sounds like the wannabe rapper cut her off financially. So Diddy cuts his girlfriend Young Miami off on March 4th. You are like almost exactly 20 days later. That's him. Like I said, he was offloading all of his assets into offshore bank accounts, and with his mommy and with his kids, he didn't have any more cash in his bank accounts for Young Miami to get.
But even aside from Diddy, she also made videos exposing other celebrities like J-Lo, the Kardashians, even the royal family. She also said that Jay was gonna be the next person to be exposed and that his connections with Diddy go way deeper than we thought.
J-Lo, you got anything to say yet? There would be a fair chance he would be in jail by the time Labor Day rolled around, so canceled his festival. Why does Jay-Z allegedly think that there is a fair chance he will be in jail by the time Labor Day has rolled around? We will find out soon because we are doing the Jay-Z Platinum Deep Dive next on the Patreon, and now, woo! But anyway, that's the latest. But also, and I cannot stress this enough, Beyonce is not her husband, and she was also allegedly heavily Jay-Z.
Child, it looked like this mess is much deeper than we ever could have thought it was. Jaguar and Katt clearly need protection, and people are hoping they get that before it's too late. As usual, people had their own thoughts about this, like this person who said, both Katt and Jaguar speak so confidently about this year, in particular being the year that everything comes out. Not just wishful thinking, but they know things are gonna happen. They know something we don't, something they can't openly talk about, something 10 years in the making. I can't wait to see how this plays out. Another person said, they want people to think she crazy. It's what they do when you speak the truth about them. Look at how they've done her, Katt, Orlando Brown, Kanye. I hope people are seeing these people are telling you the truth and have been for a while. May they be protected. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Jaguar and Katt Williams' lives really being in danger? And do y'all think they should go into hiding till all this settles down? Y'all been knew what to do. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.